Hey guys, we're in the garage here. We're taking a look at this really cool accessory. This is the ultimate accessory for your Tesla Model Y in the rear trunk area. This is a refrigerator freezer that fits back into this small area right here. You can see now this isn't installed right now, but you can see how tall this is. This door comes open and we've got storage all the way from here all the way down to the bottom here. So it's a really cool, innovative design that maximizes the space and the use. Now it runs off of the 12-volt system, so it has just a little 12-volt plug right here that plugs into the 12-volt socket right here in the driver's side rear. So that plugs right in. It fits very easily in there. It's got app control. It's controlled by this little dial, and you're able to store things in here to keep them cold or frozen. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to get it installed, and we'll take a look and see how it works. All right, this comes apart in two pieces. You can see this is the top unit here. This is where the power is, and then this is the bottom kind of area. Now there's this little lip here, and the lip on the back of that slides into that. So this goes in first into the side compartment area, like that. And then the top part's going to sit on there, and it's going to clip into that. And then there's a few pins that we put in right here to kind of lock it to keep it down. Here's our 12-volt socket here in the rear. You can see this is the back of the refrigerator part that's going to fit in right here. It's contoured perfectly to fit right underneath this lip right here, this area, and then it's got some nice Velcro all the way around it, around the side. That's going to kind of adhere to the carpeted area and help keep it from moving around. Here's our pins that we're going to install, and there's the pin cover, and we've got a few racks and trays that fit in there. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure you get this cargo carrier cover off to be able to get this in there. So we're just going to take that out and set it aside. Okay, what we want to do is plug it in first so that the cord kind of pushes in and out, and then there's this little cutout area where the plug is going to kind of rest. So kind of like in this way here, when it's all the way in, the cord's going to kind of rest inside the slot. That's going to allow this to fit, because it actually is a really tight fit around here. Helps to open this up. Slide this in. We're going to plug it in. One thing we also want to make sure is you wait at least 2 hours before you turn this on after this has been shipped. You want this to be sitting upright for 2 hours, so that way it doesn't ruin the compressor, and that's one of the warning labels on this. So here's a look inside. I've got this opened, and I've got this plugged in, and it's not all the way pushed back in, but I want to show you kind of how it works. So see how there's this lip all the way around here? We want to make sure that lip is flush against here. That's how we know it's all the way back and clipped in, and then we'll be able to put our pins in the front here. So you might have to just kind of wiggle it a little bit. You have to push kind of hard on this to really get it back in there, because it is a tight fit, and you have the Velcro on the sides that's kind of catching on the carpet, so you're kind of working against that as well. But just pushing on each side. Having the light on helps a lot, because that's going to show us when that lip is smoothed. All right, I got it pushed pretty much all the way back in, and you can see here there's no lip here. It's been completely pushed back in, so that way it's going to be completely flush. Now let's put these pins in right here, and that's going to kind of finish the installation. These pins work as they just go down right into the slot right here. Just turned them, and now we can just lay them down flat like this. And the final step is just put this, there's a magnetic cover here that just fits right over there, and that's going to cover those pieces, and we're not going to be able to see those pins. The refrigerator is now installed in the car here. It goes in pretty straightforward, very simple to install. You can kind of see how it does stick out just a little bit here on this side right here. It's a little more flush towards the front here, but pretty low profile. Opens up very easily. On this far end is where there's a latch right here. So I'll show you right there. So see the latch right there? You have to push that. So it is, if you try pulling it without the latch, you can't open it. So you have to release the latch. And it does have a nice light. When it's plugged in and operating, you've got a light in here. Now this 3-basket system is nice. It has this little tray on top to be able to put stuff on top here, and then in the deeper portion here we've got 2 trays down here as well. So we've got this tray, and then we've got one in the very bottom. So the tray system is nice because you can stack things in there really to maximize the space. Here's our button control here. This tells us what our current temperature is. We push that, and that's going to tell if it's set at 0 degrees Celsius. So we can turn it up or down. Goes all the way down to about 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. That's kind of the low setting. That's freezer temperature. We can put it, like a refrigerator. If we wanted it to be, 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, we can just do that as well. And that tells us. And it cools down really quickly. I've only had this on for about a few minutes, and it's already cooled down. And we'll see how long it takes to get down to our set temperature here. You can hear the fan. There is some heat being exhausted from right here. There's a fan noise. But up in the front, you can't hear it as much. When you're driving, you're not going to be able to hear it as much. This outlet back here needs to be on, and the only time it's on is when you're driving the car. When you're on Sentry mode or Camp mode, you can turn it on in those instances. But the nice thing with this is it is well insulated, so if the power's out, let's say your car's the outlet's not on for a few hours, 5, 6, 8 hours, this is insulated enough that it's going to keep things cool. Maybe not frozen, but at least cool for quite a while, so you have a little peace of mind if you need to leave the car without power. When you get down below 20% on your battery, regardless of Camp mode or Sentry mode, that turns off, and therefore turn off this socket. A few things I wanted to point out. I have the cargo cover back on here, and when that's on, this opens up just fine. You can see it almost opens up almost all the way flat. Now I have a mat back here, and maybe a lot of people do as well. This mat does have a little bit of a lip here on the side, and when I have that in, a little more, kind of restricts the opening a little bit more, but not too bad. So just be aware if you have a mat, it can restrict the opening of this. But I also like this style of refrigerator better than the ones that fit under the sub trunk here, just because you have easier access to that. This one, you have cargo sitting back here. It's hard to get access to the refrigerator that's under here. This one, you have access, so you just have to move things out of the way right here, and you have easy access here. I also like that the fan is up here. It's not covered under the sub trunk. It's going to ventilate really well, easily. It's not going to overheat or get blocked. And I like this dial right here. This is just easy to use as far as setting the temperature and then seeing what the current temperature is on the unit. Here, even though this looks like a small fridge, it actually can fit quite a bit of things in here. I just got some soda cans in here, and if we look, I got 12 cans in here by using just this shelf here. So I just got a bunch on top here, and then down below, we've got another 7 cans down below there, just kind of laying on their side. So you can fit quite a bit in here. I mean, 12 cans, you could fit some bottled waters, all kinds of stuff you can keep in here. I like that it has this nice light in here in the back. Got this light that shines when it's turned on. You're able to see down in there, and then the basket system is nice as well for organizing food and drinks. You can see how far down these go. So that's fitting 12 cans in that little fridge right there. And it worked pretty well. All right, the fridge has gotten down to temperature, 4 degrees Celsius, and it turned off. That took less than 10 minutes to get down there. So if it's empty, it's obviously going to cool down a lot quicker than if you have like warm food or drinks in there. So probably best to pre-cool it down, and it's going to get down to temperature pretty quick. Guys, I really like this little fridge right here. Even though it's small and compact, it does fit in there. It fits really well into this space. It takes advantage and uses this space. It doesn't seem like I'm really losing out on a lot of area, because this is an area I wasn't using much anyways. Very deep storage. I mean, fitting over 12 cans of soda in there. That's pretty big size as far as that's concerned. I like that I have the option to keep this in there all the time. It's easy to access. You don't have to worry about the cargo really blocking it that much. It's easy to get into. Going to keep drinks and food cold. I like having this. I like having something like this. Like, let's say if you're going to the grocery store and you have some cold items, you need to keep them cold, but you've got to run more items, you could probably keep them in there. Also, you go to a restaurant, you got leftovers, takeout, things like that, you can put those in here. So just having a fridge in your car is a cool option, and this is a great option. It fits really well, works really well. And it's just a sleek, cool design here, easy to use, and it cools down very quickly, and it's pretty energy efficient as well. So guys, big shout out to Tlyard for partnering with us with this video. Be sure to see the link down below. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.